Hi there, Dawn McVey here with Paper Tray Ink. Today we're talking about ombre cluster stamping, which is a really fun technique that will allow you to add a very pretty ombre effect to your cards. And the great thing about it is you can use lots of different stamp sets for this application. So hopefully you've already got something in your stash that will work perfectly. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Okay, so today we're going to talk about ombre cluster stamping. The idea being that we're gonna use a cluster of images and stamp those in an ombre pattern, and you can start that from one edge of your cardstock and work your way down or across or keep it all in the center. But all of the images that you stamp in your cluster need to be in an ombre color palette. So I've done this before with like berry and red tones. You can do it with pinks. You just want to generally choose some colors that are in the same color family, and then you're going to start with either the darkest and work your way to the lightest, or vice versa. For today, I am shockingly going to be using an aqua color palette. I tend to grab these colors a lot just because they work so well together, and they're going to be perfect for this technique. I'm also going to use the Floral Sketches stamp set. This is a great one for this technique because there are multiple sizes of the flowers. So we're going to not only graduate the color from darkest to lightest, but we're also going to graduate those images from largest to smallest on the front of our card here. So to get started, I've got some tropical teal ink. I'm going to ink this flower up, and then you see those lines across there from the ink pad. Just to get rid of those, I'm going to dab the stamp surface with an ink blending tool, and I am going to stamp on a piece of scratch paper here just to keep my work surface nice and tidy. And you see now all those lines that were there from the ink pad are gone. So I'll stamp a couple more of this large flower. And just blend out those harsh lines. You see I went clear off the edge to make sure our pattern really looks like it's cascading from the top edge of the card. So next I've got the medium flower and the medium tone of ink. So this is Hawaiian Shores. I'll just add a few of these. I'm going to tuck them right up next to the large flowers. And now I've got Aqua Mist ink, which is the lightest of my three colors and the smallest of the flowers. Again, since I want them to sort of look like they're cascading from the top, I'm going to have a couple of stragglers down here at the bottom. Okay, so now to add some detail, I'm going to use the just these detail line images to go right over the top. For this, I'm going to stamp these images in a green ink. If you wanted to keep strictly with the aqua color palette or whatever one you're working with, you could just use black for the detail lines, or you could emboss them in white, and that way you don't add another color into the mix. But I kind of like how the New Leaf ink that green. I like how it looks when you stamp it over the aquas, so that is what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to use New Leaf ink on all 3 of these colors. I'm just going to stamp those detail lines right on top. These stamps are great because you don't have to be super fussy about getting everything placed just perfectly. They're pretty forgiving. Now we've got the medium-sized flower, still with that New Leaf ink. You see how that just adds some real definition and some more interest to these little guys. And now we do the smallest ones. And for one final step on the flowers, I'm just going to stamp the flower centers. And this is a medium size for that medium flower. And the small. And then to finish things off, I am going to add a sentiment from the set, same Floral Sketches set. Tuck this right down in the corner. And our stamping is finished. So I've got some tropical teal cardstock here that I'm just going to use as the card base. Pop this right on the front. I did trim this white cardstock down before I started stamping, so it's just 4 inches across by 5.5 down. And there we have it, ombre cluster stamping. Well, I hope I've inspired you to bust out your favorite ombre ink colors and give this technique a try. Can't wait to see what you come up with this week. If you decide to play along, be sure and head over to Nicole Hetty's blog where you can leave a link to your project so we can all check out what you came up with. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Dawn McVey with Make It Monday.